What's going on, people? Georgio Savvides here, founder of the Hip Hop Orchestra, as well as the host of the Hip Hop Orchestra Presents podcast. And I got a really exciting announcement to finally make with everyone, is that we have our very first official sponsor for the podcast. Now, they are an amazing, amazing company called Odin's Vault, who are extremely dedicated in bringing you the very best in officially licensed merchandise from pop culture. And when I mean the very best, I mean the very best. They provide things like keyrings, caps, t-shirts, to Funko Pops, to statues from all over, such as DC, Marvel, Disney, The Mandalorian, Harry Potter, music artists from all over the place, and they are ridiculously good. I've got a couple of things to show you on offer at the moment. This trust with their stuff is amazing. So, t-shirts, like I mentioned, like the one I'm wearing right now. It's got Rocky right here, which I absolutely love. Or, like I said, also got Funko Pops as well, 3.75 inches and 10 inches. I've got a couple of 10 inches right here for you. I've got Post Malone right here, and I've also got Biggie right here, who I absolutely love. These are so sick. Odin's Vault, trust me, they are amazing. Now, I'm going to leave the link below in the video right here, and also in the description below as well in all future videos from the podcast. But trust me, Odin's Vault are amazing. Website is www.odinsvault.co.uk. Get in touch with them now and start buying ASAP. But also, before I forget as well, I just want to say the biggest thank you to Odin's Vault for sponsoring the podcast. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you. And trust me, get in touch with them right now. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and peace. And people, welcome to another brand new edition of the podcast. And today I'm joined by a couple of absolutely incredible guests today, hugely inspirational, twin sisters, Fabiana and Paula Chavez. How are you? Both okay?
Yes,
hello.
Georgio. Hi.
How are you both? You both doing okay?
Yes, we're great. Thank you.
I'm so glad to hear. How's this past year or so been for you both? Have you been coping okay?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yes, coping. Yes, indoors for a long time. We stayed here in Beunos Aires, Argentina, and the lockdown started in March, and it ended at about the beginning of November. So during that time is quite difficult, because we had so many concerts scheduled and we had to cancel all our concerts. So it was a time that really was for thinking about many things, about trying to think about we were doing and what we want to do in the future. It was really, we took this time to think more than doing things, trying to I don't know what you felt, Fabiana.
Was exactly the same, especially that at the very beginning we were apart from each other, and it was quite difficult for us. We try with technology as well to try to perform, to get together. It was a kind of learning all the time how to cope this around music, and that was the most difficult thing for us. Then we managed to stay for a bit of time together, and that was easier. But in general, yes, as many people, as many musicians, we were all in the same boat. So that, I think it was very difficult times. But as Paula said before, it was like an inner journey for us, because we had time for reflect a little bit on, as she said, what to do in the future, to stop and think, which is nice, which is also nice.
Yeah. How do you find technology at the moment? Do you find it quite difficult to work with?
Oh well, this technology is ever changing landscape, and you never know if you are prepared or not. But you have to keep up to date all the time, and it's a question of trying to testing different, let's say, different devices, maybe one device or another device or platforms. And try to see which one is much more accessible than the other. But yes, in general as well, we think we are doing quite well with technology so far.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear. How about you, Paula? How do you find it?
Yeah, the same as Fabiana said. Fabiana is better than I am about technology. But also, one of the biggest problems was, when you want to, for example, go live online,
Mm-hmm.
you need someone, a sighted person, because you have to get everything in order that the other person can see you on the other side.
Mm.
So that is a little bit of a problem when it comes to broadcast an image or a video for a blind person. Sometimes blind musicians do a kind of broadcast, just audio, not audio and video.
Yeah.
But in that case, for sighted people, you are losing a lot of audience, because most people want to see you on stage. The magic of being playing at the moment in person with all the audiences, feeling as you are a performer, you really can feel other people's energy.
Of course.
And I think also people, the audience, feel your energy when you're playing. So when you're online, you miss something of that. So it was like if we were doing just audio broadcasting, we were missing more than that. So it was quite difficult. So for that reason, we were not doing that kind of broadcasting at the moment. We're not doing that.
Oh, I was going to ask actually, if you've done any kind of online concerts or performances over the past year or so.
No online concert, no streaming, nothing at all. Like this. Because as Paula said, we don't want to cut corners in this regard. We want to do it properly, and you need, as Paula said, sighted people, many people around, sighted people and microphones, technology, and sometimes a good place to broadcast. We've got in our houses our own pianos, grand pianos as well, but it's not the same if you don't have enough space to broadcast. To go live, and no, we thought, and at the very beginning as well, our pianos were out of tune.
Oh, really?
Hopefully we could not stand the sound of the So we decided not to do that, to wait until things come back to normal and can do a kind of normality.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, do you live together, or do you live away from each other?
And we live away from each other.
Okay.
Otherwise, we were arguing all the time. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but yes, that was one of the problems, because at first we couldn't see each other. It was very strict, the lockdown in our country. So yes, that was one of the problems. And the other thing is that we have to find time, to decide when to play together. And I don't know. I think everyone has the same problem, but you're a little bit disorganized at first. You don't know what time of the day you are, if you're awake in the evening and sleeping during the day, and we couldn't find a time to be together. It was quite difficult. And I also find that, as Fabiana said before, you can't play on, on one of the platforms, wherever it is, because of the lag.
Yeah.
And that's we found this period quite hard. And well, now we are little by little overcoming this other problem.
Oh, good. How do you schedule it then to kind of practice together then? How do you work around that?
Yeah, well, it depends. It's we don't have a schedule for not yet. Yeah. We've got some concerts that are still people have to schedule the concerts. We sometimes we play something alone, and then we practice together. We rehearse, and we do kind of rehearsals together. But it's much more informal lately. It's sometimes it's much more relaxed, and we take time for a little bit to improvise, to test some new things, and which is fun as well at the same time. So that's why it can be rewarding sometimes to say, okay, we've got plenty of time to see other things, to test other things we've never done before, which is, that's a great thing for a musician, to be creative sometimes, not to as we are classically trained. You can imagine that we are mostly trying to do what the music score says. and this time is a kind of relaxed time to find other pieces as well, to play different genres, or to say, oh, what about this one, this piece, why don't we try this piece just for fun? And that basis, it's as well something that musicians have to have time to do as well.
What are you both working on at the moment? Anything in particular?
Yes, we're playing Mozart continuously, because we think that Mozart is good for the health.
Definitely. It is good for the health.
Yes, it's when you feel a little bit down and you play Mozart, you feel joyful again, and you feel full of energy. And that's one of the things we always do, play Mozart sonatas all the time. And then we were doing, for the first time in our life, because we played Argentinian composers a lot.
Amazing.
But more classical ones. And we were trying some tangos lately.
Oh, nice.
Yes, Piazzolla or other composers, just testing sounds, colors. We do many work in our studio, like recording ourselves, trying to see if work. If it works, it doesn't work. We don't like it. We don't do it anymore. Yes, it's not like, well, let's play this and that's it.
It's very funny because sometimes Paula is very keen on improvisation, and she doesn't realize, and sometimes she plays things which are very nice. I said, oh, it was amazing. It was a pity we didn't record it. And she said, no, it was awful. And then it was a council. Yeah, it's kind of an argument and saying no. And then no, it's that's why it's very important this time to say yes. We have this. Oh, you, Paula, has this ability. Can you help me to improve? And let's try to do maybe something wrong or can be wrong, and we can, as said Paula, we can record it and yes, improve it, or change it, or something. And yes, so that's quite important thing to do.
Definitely. And how do you bring it together then after being away from each other? How do you then bring it together afterwards? Is it quite difficult to do that, or no arguments or so forth?
Yes, very, very difficult because yes, I'm fun at the same time because Paula has maybe she's quicker in terms of tempo. Sometimes she rushes a lot, and I'm like, oh, hold on, please, hold on. Slow down a bit because I cannot follow you. And it was, hilarious because it's, first of all, we say, oh, no, it's very disappointing. But when then we realize and we laugh a lot. And we say how strange a human being can be, because after being playing together for so many years and rehearsing some rehearsals together all the time, every day, and suddenly to see to meet once a month could be quite hard. Yes, it's not the same. I don't know what you think. Paula, what would you experience?
It's the same. It's very funny because sometimes we can't stop laughing. It's like, oh, we have to continue. What did you do? It's something that sounds very funny. A mistake on the piano, and it sounds funny, and we can't stop. It's like we discovered that. How funny it could be to be apart for so long and trying to put things together again, trying to enjoy the moments, to enjoy because at the beginning it was a drama because everything was cancelled. What are we going to do? We can't go live because everybody go live. What are we going to do? And then we took it. We said, well, no, we have to slow down and think about what we want to do, perhaps change repertoire. We're both very keen on playing French composers because Debussy is great. We love Debussy. We love working with different colors and sounds and sonorities and pedals, and trying to find this sound which is very special. But why don't we try a different thing? Because we have been playing French composers for a long time. And perhaps it would be great to play, as I said before, some Argentinian musician composers, and try other composers as well, new pieces.
When you do, pardon me, sorry, when you do choose a piece then, for instance, say Debussy or Mozart, how do you decide on who does what part of the piece? That's what I thought. I've always wanted to find out how this works. Yeah, I know. Like, do you both do like the whole piece and say, okay, Paula, I do this part, Fabiana, you do that part, or do you kind of see what works best? How do you work
kind
with
of see. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we were thinking about this question. Perhaps would be one of the most. Yes, because the big one. Because it comes sometimes. It said, "Okay, I've been playing for a long time." And the second part, it's my time to play the treble part. It's me. No, it's me. No, you're not very good on this. I'm better because my fingers. Think like that comes out, and it's very as well. At first it's like a kind of argument, can sound like a kind of argument, but then do you remember when we were fighting? Why I should have chosen this other part because it was so difficult to play the treble part is that, it's the primo part. And I'm so sorry. You've got the very difficult part, and it's as well. You're very, very funny. We have lots of fun. That's why people ask us as well. Why don't you play solo? Why don't you play? We play solo as a matter of fact, but it is not the same because we don't have this joy, this funny things, and it's for us it's very. We get bored very easily. I get bored, in my opinion. It's very boring for me to play cello.
And Fabiana, I also wanted to add that we know our strengths and our weaknesses. At first, as she said, is a kind of argument. Remember that we always have to memorize all the pieces. Because we can't see the scores. So although we're playing piano 4 hands, we have to memorize everything. And sometimes you can listen people, for example, the Brahms waltzes are very, very easy. The primo part is more difficult than the second part for sighted people. But imagine if you have to memorize the second part of the Brahms waltzes, it is very, very boring.
Guess what? Who is playing the very boring part?
Fabiana was playing the very boring part. So I don't want to play the waltzes the second part because it's very boring. For people who are, reading the score at the moment, it's easy. It's easier, but not for memorizing. So this is a very good point, because for some people think that playing piano 4 hands is easy, maybe, but when you can't see the score and you have to memorize everything, it turns a little bit harder. Things that seems to, for example, pieces that seems to be very easy for us are getting, more difficult to play, difficult to memorize. So that's why we have to have this equilibrium to not to say Fabiana has to memorize the more difficult part, because I will be very, very quick in learning the pieces, and she will be learning the first piece, and I'm learning 10 pieces, and she only learning just one. We have to be very careful about that.
Yes.
This is why I have so much admiration for you both, because not only do you have to learn these incredibly difficult pieces, but then you have to relearn them in a way that you can both do at the same time, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, it must take you so long to then learn a piece, but then relearn it again afterwards to make sure that you don't bump into each other's hands or this and that. I mean, it must take forever to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a long time. And we also, it's important to point out that what we used to read, to learn our pieces after losing our sight, because we were sighted before. And we were able to read conventional music notation. But after losing eyesight, we had to find something different, another way of learning a new pieces. So what we using nowadays, it's software which enables us to listen to it's a kind of audio descriptive score, to make it easier, because it's quite complex. So this software verbalizes all of the elements in a musical piece, and it kind with the hierarchies. You can navigate through the score, and it verbalizes everything, but it's not the same. I've seen it, reading it. You cannot do it at the same time. So your hands are on the computer, and you need to play as well with your fingers. And that's why we have to listen to the audio description of the score. And then we mashing those. It's like the image of the score is in our minds. It's crazy thing that happens. But that's the way we found to replace the sheet of music, the conventional music notation, and it takes time. It's like yes, as you said, Georgio, it's like to learn it twice.
Exactly.
To memorize it, and then to ensemble everything. That's fun. But the most difficult part, I think, it's the part that we have to learn to see which notes it's which, or the chords. It's quite hard, but it's useful at the same time.
Is this Dancing Dots, the software that you mentioned?
Yeah.
Dancing Dots.
It's Lima Loud. Is what it is? Is what we're using is Lima Loud from Dancing Dots, which is that company offers cutting edge technology for the blind.
Incredible.
Yes,
I mean,
incredible.
how long have you been using Dancing Dots?
For more than 10 years, I think.
10
it's
years.
Over 4 years, or maybe 12. But maybe formally 10 years ago, because we started doing playing 11 years ago. In 2010, we decided to come back to music again professionally after losing a sight with this technology. And it was a kind of challenge about the very beginning, because we didn't know what is going, how was going to be. Or is it going to work, or is it not going to work? And doing a master's degree in London was a big challenge, and we wanted to test if it was in fact accurate or not. And that was the biggest challenge, I think.
I want to get into that, actually, because obviously you went to Trinity, didn't you both? You both went to Trinity. Yeah, how was that for you both? Going from Buenos Aires to Trinity to London, how was it for you both?
It was incredible. We
Really?
loved it. At first, it was difficult. Yes, you find, living in Buenos Aires is very different from living in London. But London is an amazing city, so we got accustomed to it very easily. And also, people from Trinity level was so great, so kind, especially people who were working for disabled people. James Hitchens, especially, very thanks to him. We had everything, that we needed. Yes, it was a challenge, as Fabiana said, because you are doing a master's degree anyway. So it is very, very strict. You have to do things many things at the same time, play the repertoire for the different examinations. And it was a great challenge to test if this system works or not. And we found out that we really have to be very concentrated and very to get down on it, on playing, on performing. And well, I don't know what to say. What would you like to say, Fabiana, about
we have to pay much more attention to the details sometimes. We learned a lot from this experience, apart from everyone's who travel abroad and experience living in another country, in a big city like London. But in terms of art and knowledge and the method we bring into Trinity Lab, and it was like, it's like learning as well from ourselves, from our teachers. Sometimes some very good advices, like, what about this point, this thing, does it describe is it described in your the software you use? Let's see, let's go and check. It's a double check, please let me double check. And and realize that we had to pay much more attention to details, and that's what we needed to do, because sometimes the software itself offers a lot of features we weren't paying attention to. So that's learning about technology, about many other things, and and trying to improve, not only in terms of techniques, piano technique, but also in trying to find the best way of learning a new pieces.
By chance as well, did you get to meet any other students who were in similar situations to you two in terms of having disabilities?
Well, yes, we did have one of our mates. He was, I don't remember where from, Paula.
Neither do I. He was, another blind musician. He was studying composition. There was a singer who was from the UK.
Yes, right.
And we were 4 in total, visually impaired students. And really, we were we both felt very comfortable at Trinity. And also we had all the possibilities. We had a mobility trainer who helped us, to move around the different places, to go, to have our independence. And it was great, really. That was a great part of the Trinity course, because also we learned that you are in a big city like London, you can be very independent, and that's a great thing as well. And also moving around the college, which is quite difficult, the different places, the different if you wanted to go to the practice rooms and to find out which one was yours, and the mobility trainer told us and taught us everything, how to move around, to find the places. Very useful for a visually impaired person or visually impaired student.
So another one I want to add to this, which is very relevant thing to say, is that the four of us, had different ways as well of conceiving this way of learning pieces or working with music, which is fantastic because there's not just only one way of doing things. Maybe the blind community of musicians may say are in favor of maybe Braille music notation, which is fine. But in our case, as we were sighted before and we lost our sight, it was we had to find another way of learning new pieces, as we were discussing. And no drama at all. Everyone can do it on their own pace. Whatever it is, the technology or anything you need to do it, it's okay. It's okay if you need Braille music notation, if you need another screen reader software. We've got options, and that's it was a very important part of the course as well. Learning from others, that is a kind of diversity in education in terms of the visual impairment as well. It's not that the blind, this is the best way for the blind. No, it's the blind individuals as well, and to respect their own way of working with music. It's absolutely incredible. So that thanks to Trinity Lab or maybe other universities as well. I don't know. We've been doing this course at Trinity Lab, and it was amazing experience.
That is incredible. And obviously you both got your masters from there as well, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, was this your first time in London when you came over?
The first time we were in London, it was because we were invited by UCL Institute of Education to talk on a conference for visually impaired people, musicians. It was called a visually impaired musician live
Conference.
Conference, yes, yeah. That's the name of the conference. At that, we were invited and we were supported by the government of Argentina to attend that conference. And it was great because we had the opportunity to meet many blind musicians and many people from UCL as well. Yes, Dr. David Baker, and Lucy Green, who is very famous in music education field. We had the opportunity to share both our performances and our experiences as blind musicians. It was great. And one of the persons we met there was Balushi, from the Inner Vision Orchestra, and his wife Linda Jansson. They are very, very nice, and their organization is working very hard for visually impaired musicians. And it was a great opportunity to meet them because I think they are doing a great work about blind musicians.
That is incredible. And you also got invited to the Women of the Year lunch and awards, didn't you, a couple of years ago? I mean, what was that like? That's because obviously the awards were amazing. I mean, what was it like to be invited to such a prestigious award?
We've got a little bit fun story around this.
Okay, please do.
Yeah, which is, yes, because as we were doing a master's degree there at Trinity. We had so many things to do and many invitations from many organizations and things and stuff. And one day I remember I was practicing at the practice room at Trinity, and I checked my emails and so Women of the Year, where you are invited to Women of the Year, something like a nomination. For me, it was like a spun. I said to my sister, I received something very, very naughty this morning. It was something about Women of the Year. Can you imagine that we could be invited to such a thing like Women of the Year? It's a huge, yes, and we laughed a lot. And I left it there for about 2 weeks without paying attention to it. And at last, I said to my sister, there's a telephone number here, why don't we call on it? And I decided, my sister said, hey, let's try it, and try to find out what it's about, because it's a promotion or something that you can say at least no and delete it. There's nothing going to happen. And for my surprise, the women, the women on the other side of the telephone was very seriously, and she told me, we'll be very honored if you could come to Women of the Year lunch. And then we found out it was a nomination for the Women of the Year. It was something very crazy, because we didn't realize that was a very important thing. And for us, it was like nothing. It was like, no, it is not, that can't be true. So you wanna Paula to explain or to tell to the audience about how the event itself was, because it's I don't know, you've got.
Yeah, the event was great. It was, yes, as well. We felt very comfortable. Women from all backgrounds, and well, all women were English. We said, you imagine, we were from Argentina, and we said, what are we doing here? We have to speak very well English. We can't speak English. Try not to speak. Women here are English. Yes, it was also very, we were very honored about that, because representing your home country in such an incredible and important event, it was amazing. It was very short, because things are very short. But yes, it was amazing, and we were very, very, very happy, and we felt very comfortable. All women there were very, very, very nice to us, so it was amazing.
That is amazing. And was it in different categories, say sports, science, arts, and so forth, or was it all under just one kind of umbrella of just being amazing?
Yeah. For example, sitting next to me was a lady. She was a student. She wanted to become a doctor. She wants to become a doctor. She is deaf and blind.
Wow.
That's amazing for me. What I am doing here, you're great, you're amazing. I couldn't stop telling her how amazing she was. And it was very, very funny, because we were sitting at the same table. She couldn't hear, and I helped her hearing. She was better in seeing things, so she helped me with things, and it was very funny. Yes, amazing things that you in life you could never dream that can happen to you. And life is always so amazing when you think, at first you think, yeah, I have a disability, what I'm going to do. and then you discover all the things that such incredible things that happen to you in life, and how you can manage to sort out the difficulties is not so complicated as you thought. And that's very good. That's it's the way you think about life in a positive way changes everything. I suppose that's what I think.
Sorry,
sorry. That's my fault. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
No. Okay, no. I wanted to add that sometimes it's not always. We sometimes feel down or say, "Oh no, we've got this disability." Sometimes people can think, "Oh no, poor blind people or poor blind twin sisters." Yes, no, but as Paula said, to see the positive part of the thing is like. If we weren't blind, we couldn't have that opportunity to take part of that great event, with such achievement of being nominated as Women of the Year in England, which is a huge achievement. So things like that happen because you don't stop doing things. So for me, the key is like never stop, never give up, go on. It doesn't matter if sometimes you have times of like lockdown or things like that.
Pandemic things, it doesn't matter. You have to go on.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. And that's why I just find you two so inspirational, because you do have your disabilities and yet you're so positive and you're so amazing in what you do. It's just absolutely incredible. And I've got so many more things to ask you, but I'll always have to finish on a positive note like that. So, but I just want to say, Paula and Fabiana, thank you so much for today. It was such an honor to talk to you both. Thank you.
No,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. It was a pleasure. Very nice, and thank you very much for this interview. And good luck with your podcast.
Thank you. And thank you too. Like in the future, I mean, I can't wait to see you perform again soon and carry on, because what you're doing is amazing. So thank you both so much for today. It was a real honor to talk to you both. So thank you.
Big thanks to you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. And one more thing actually before we go, how can people find you online, just in case, on social media?
Oh, yes. It's your turn, Paula, to all the social media.
The social media girl. Well, well, first of all, please check out our new release, Classical Aura, which is on Spotify, on every platform, your favorite platform, all the platforms available. And you can find us on Twitter, Chavez Twins, Chavez Twins on Instagram as well, Paula and Fabiana, and on Facebook, Paula and Fabiana. Remember that we will be very, very happy if you tweet us or write us on Facebook or Instagram, and hope to see you soon, guys, in the UK after the lockdown.
100%. 100%. Thank you both so much. Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask a couple of more questions just to make sure, actually. I can't have to, because I love it too much. But I know that you've also set up a project called Piano Without Barriers. Is that correct?
Okay. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like a project. Yes, it's an ongoing project, as a matter of fact, because I've just received, for example, a message from a blind musician. Most of it's like trying to inspire, or sometimes trying to help other blind musicians with the techniques we're using, or the technical things, maybe software, in terms of software, in terms of motivation sometimes, or what to do, where to go, what things are available for musicians, for blind musicians, especially in this country. Sometimes they have no clue, and sometimes people from all over, and we do talk in conferences, maybe workshops. We are invited to give content, a little bit of recital, a little bit piano, and a little bit of talking about our achievements and the way we managed to do everything after losing our sight. So that's what it's all about. So and you can check it out as well, a YouTube channel, which is
really?
Since it is not too much there, because we're perfectionists. It's like something we've got, but not so many videos. But please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well.
Yes, I forgot.
It's amazing. You can, you can find some things regarding Piano Sin Barreras project there.
Yes, also, sorry, I wanted to add that. One of the most important things about Pianos Without Barriers is that not only blind musicians, but musicians who are losing the sight. And this, I want to emphasize that, because some musicians are very, professional musicians. And if they lose their sight, they don't know how to come back to music. They think, well, my career is over, I can't continue with my career. So how do you do that? Because we lost our sight and we continued with our career. And what did we do? We can tell them about our experience, and that's why we think that's so important to talk about our experience, because every day you find new people or new musicians who are losing the sight. I don't know what to do, and I think that's what we are focusing on with this project.
Exactly.
That's why it's so incredible, because I know that obviously you lost your vision through Stargardt disease. Is that correct?
Yes, Stargardt disease.
Stargardt disease, only 13 as well. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That was the diagnosis of the disease. We were sighted when we were born, but then gradually we were losing our sight. It was very not slow. It was very slow. Slowly we were losing our sight. It was very difficult for our parents, especially.
Of course.
To upset
all of you. And now, I know that your dad was your first teacher, wasn't he? He's a musician as well, isn't he? Your dad.
Yes, that was as a pianist when he was a little child, and actually he had a piano in his house. He lived in very far away from Buenos Aires. He lived in San Juan.
Okay.
And every time we were to San Juan, we went there. We wanted to play that piano, but it was always closed. And locked. Sorry, we couldn't open it. Wait, no, you can't play it because you're going to destroy the piano, and that makes you more interested about that. And when we lost our sight, Dad remembered that, and he said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a piano and make the twins forget about this diagnosis, because it was very shocking at that moment.
Of course.
Fabiana said before. So was a great idea, because he started teaching us, playing our first lessons, and we forgot about everything, about the time, about everything. All we wanted to do was playing the piano, and it's my turn to play the piano, and the arguments all the time. And that's one of the things,
The main reasons, yeah.
the main reason.
Main reasons of playing together piano duets, because of the arguments straight and dive all the time. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. But I'm just so glad that you two are happier now and you found your way in life. So once again, Paula and Fabiana, thank you so much for today. It was such an honor to talk to you both. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're very
welcome.
welcome.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure. And hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In England, in London,
in England,
maybe.
100%. I'll come to Argentina too.
Okay, why not?
Oh, lovely. Why not?
Yes,
I can't wait
why
to
not?
see you soon. And take
See
care.
you
Okay.
soon.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.